What's up guys, JV2017 here, and today I am continuing my Fallout 4 pre-release content. Right now we're about 2.5 weeks until Fallout 4 is officially released. So just a quick reminder guys, this is your #1 hub for Fallout 4 content here on YouTube. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned on my channel now and when the game comes out on November 10th. So today we're talking about crafting, but more specifically weapon crafting, because there are so many different forms of crafting available to us in Fallout 4. It seems like a big thing in this iteration of Fallout, and we got a really nice taste of what Fallout 4's weapon crafting looks like during Bethesda's E3 world premiere. So that is what I'll be referring to for the majority of this video. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to link it in the description below. The way weapon crafting works in this game is you find components just scattered about the world, and then you use those components to build weapon mods. And really, that's all what crafting is about. It's about adding modifications to your weapons. It's about finding those components, using them to build weapon mods, and then adding those mods to your base weapons. And Todd Howard himself dropped these numbers. There's 50 plus base weapons in the game, and then there's 700 modifications. Now, I believe that when he says 700 modifications, that's 700 individual little mods that you can add on each, part of the weapon, if that makes sense. So there's going to be a ton of variation with the base weapons. Obviously, we have 50 plus, and of course 700. That just means we're going to have a ton of options in each different modification slot, and that's something I'll talk about in a minute here. So there's some lists online that attempt to name the 50 plus base weapons, but they base them on previous games, and I think there's going to be plenty of new base weapons in Fallout 4, so I wouldn't really trust those too much. Now let's talk about modifications, or for short, everyone knows these are mods. So these are independent little pieces that fit into mod slots on your base weapons. So base weapons will have a set number of mod slots, and of course you can't have 2 scopes on a base weapon. Maybe there is a really special mod that allows you to have 2 scopes. I don't know why you'd want that, but essentially there are a set number of mod slots on your base weapons. And of course, what does a mod do? It affects your base weapon stats. So your base weapon stats are on the bottom left, and they include things like range, accuracy, magazine size, damage, all of that fun stuff. And some of the mods that you can expect, the mod slots that you can expect, are a barrel, a stock, sight, magazine, muzzle, receiver, capacitor if you're using a laser weapon, and of course melee specific mods. So these are all ideas for mod slots that we'll have in the game. And also some of these mods have perk requirements that are directly tied to the special, system with the perk tree and the perk chart. So some of them that were shown off at E3 in that video are Gun Nut, which requires intellect of 3, which is not a ton, and that's just your general gun, most guns that aren't laser guns that actually shoot real bullets. And then you have Science, which has an intellect 6 requirement, and that dictates, your laser, your energy-based weapons, your pulse, your plasma, those kind of, weapon types. And something else to keep in mind is that certain mods will require a certain rank within those perks. So you'll need Gun Nut for a certain mod, but you'll also need rank 3 of Gun Nut, because that'll unlock the rank 3 tier of weapon modifications under Gun Nut. I hope that's abundantly clear. Like I mentioned earlier, in order to build these weapon mods, we will need components. And Todd Howard gave us a very exciting revelation in the premiere. He said that every single object item in the game will contain components that are useful for crafting. So nothing is just you pick it up and you sell it, that's the only purpose. Everything will have some kind of component related to it, and that'll help us in our crafting. That's a very, very exciting thing to know. And really these components resemble very basic item properties. So they give us a really cool example with building a long scope. In order to build a long scope, you'll need 4 things. You'll need an adhesive, glass, screws, and steel. You can get these things from multiple places. So their example was you could get adhesive from duct tape in the world or Wonder Glue. You could get your glass from a microscope. You could get your screws from a toy car, and you could get your steel from a wrench. These are just options, but you can obviously find these things in the world, and if you're lucky enough to stumble upon, a toy car, there's your screws. But you could stumble upon some other object that, contains screws. So there's tons of possibilities here, and every object has a purpose. So I really went through and kind of paused the video to look for every single component I could find. I may have missed a few, but obviously there will be more in the real game. Here's kind of a rapid fire of what I could find. They have fiber optics, circuitry, gold, rubber, plastic, fiberglass, crystal, springs, silver, a gear, a cork, wood, nuclear material, copper, aluminum, and oil. So this is a very exciting system for me to get my hands on, and I know you guys are excited for this as well. Alright guys, today we focused on the weapon crafting and modifications system in Fallout 4. Next time we will cover more Fallout 4 information here on my channel, so stay tuned for all of my pre-release content, and remember that this is your #1 hub for all Fallout 4 content here on YouTube. If you have any ideas for something you would like me to cover in a future video, be sure to leave it in the comments section below. If you learned something new from this video, remember to hit that like button, I'd really appreciate it, and also stay tuned to my channel, subscribe if you haven't already, for more Fallout 4 pre-release content, and of course, when the game comes out on November 10th. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.